This is Ashish Masih Cars, helping you buy better.
Now in today's video we're going to talk about the best cars which you should buy if you want to drive up the hills. Yes, a lot of you have been asking me which are the best cars to drive up the hill, which are the best cars to drive on hilly section of the road, and a lot of you who live in the Delhi NCR region say that once this pandemic ends, once things become a little more normal and then you can travel again, and a lot of you would like to go out on every weekend up to the hills, because of course from Delhi and Gurgaon, Shimla is about 5 hours, Kasol is only about 4.5 hours or 4 hours really, and some other places are around 7 hours, 8 hours, like maybe Naldhira, Narkanda, and of course a 10-hour drive will get you to Dharamshala as well as to Manali. So a lot of you want to do that on a regular basis. So you've asked me which are the best cars to buy and what are the things that one should keep in mind before buying a car for the hills, because driving up the hills or driving on twisty corners is much more different than driving in the city. And if you want to buy a car specifically for the hills, what are the things that you need to take care of? So if you are someone who wants to buy a car for the hills, do watch this video right till the end.
Ashish Masih's top tip.
First thing that you need to remember when you're going up the hills or coming down a hill is the fact that you don't need to always be using the brakes. In fact, you should not be always using the brakes when you're coming down a hill, because it can really fade away your brakes and it can be very bad in terms of the wear and tear of the braking pads, the discs, etc. So the first thing you need to remember is that always when you're coming down a hill, drive in a lower gear, or even when you're going up the hill, try and keep it in lower gear so that you have better revs and better control, and let the engine do the braking for you, because if you come down the hill in third gear and you're doing speeds of about 40 or 50, which is regular speeds, then the engine braking will not be that effective. But of course if you're in the second gear or lower gear, then of course the engine braking will assist the brake pads, so you won't have to put the same kind of pressure on the brakes or the brake pads. So wear and tear will be lesser and it will be more efficient in terms of the braking as well. The braking efficiency increases if you do something like that. So that's something that you need to take care of. Now another thing which you need to remember is that when you're going up the hills, you need torque more than power. Power is good for the planes, power is great for acceleration, but torque is what will give you that pulling ability or that pulling strength to move up those inclines. And you need to remember cars which offer you good torque figures, in fact cars which have a torque figure in the lower end of the power band, are better for the hill if you don't want to rev that engine up a lot. So that's something also which you should remember and notice. And the third thing is that you want a car which has a nice and dynamic steering wheel and nice and sporty chassis, or a chassis which gives you a very well balanced control of the car. It shouldn't be a steering wheel which is overtly light, because light steering wheels are great for the city, light steering wheels are great for parking, but when you're going up the hills, you want a steering wheel which offers you good feedback, very communicative, and a feedback which is very precise. So that's something which you need to remember. And of course the gearing also is something which should be good. Now turbo cars are something I don't usually advise for the hills, because when you spool the turbo, it takes about 2000 rpm before the turbo kicks in, and after that you get the power. So on the hills, and if you're accelerating up the hills, it can be a little tricky for some people. Automatic cars, well, I'll always say go for an automatic if it comes with hill hold assist, or if it comes with some kind of assistance for the hills or inclines or declines, because when you're moving on the hills, the cars tend to roll backwards or sometimes forward depending on the angle. So if you have an automatic car which has these functions, auto hold assist, hill hold, descent assist, or something like that, then it's always advisable to spend a little more money and go with that car. Traction control also is something which is very feasible and very helpful when you're driving up the hill. So this was of course a little talk about what kind of car and what kind of things you should keep in mind when going up the hills. Of course you want a fuel efficient car, because going up the hills can take a toll on the efficiency as well. So fuel efficiency also is something you need to take care about. So which are the best cars, or which are the cars that I will recommend? Now primarily I'll try and talk about some segments in terms of pricing, and also talk about both petrol and diesel, but diesel is more preferable up the hills because it has that extra bit of torque, it has that extra bit of pulling power, so it definitely feels better when you're driving up the hills. And even if the power is down, if the BHP is not so great, if it doesn't have the very phenomenal BHP figures, but if the torque figures are impressive compared to its rivals or compared to a petrol car, then I'll always recommend that you end up buying a diesel. Now the number one car on this list is for people who want an affordable car, who want a no-nonsense car, who want a car just for traveling up and down. And that car, of course, is the Maruti Suzuki Alto. Now, the reason for this is, of course, I know it's a car which isn't very big on the inside. It's not a car which is very powerful, but because it's tiny, because it's relatively compact, it's easy to maneuver on those, hills which are not very wide, those roads which are not very wide. So parking is never an issue, especially if you're going to Shimla on a regular basis or any place which has tourists on a regular basis. So parking will never be an issue with the Alto. It's a good car in terms of fuel efficiency as well, and it also has one of the best ground clearances of any small car. So these are things which really do make it a very unique car for the hills. In fact, a lot of taxis, a lot of cab operators in those hills and in those mountains always opt for the Alto, and surprisingly, it never seems to break a sweat. It never seems to let them down. And any car which is popular up in the hills with the cab owners is a car which you should definitely keep in your shortlist as well. So the Alto is my number one choice. Also, being a Maruti Suzuki means that no matter which part of the country you're in, you'll never be found wanting for parts. Spare parts are easily available. Anyone can fix this car, and pricing also is relatively affordable. So that's my first car on this list. The second car which I will recommend is the Ford Figo or the Freestyle, whichever one you want to buy. The Freestyle, of course, has that little bit extra ground clearance, and it looks like a compact crossover on the outside. So that's a great thing. That's the second car I'd recommend. And I'll recommend this car in the diesel, 1.5 diesel 100 bhp version, because it's a very powerful engine. It's also a very peppy engine. Unlike diesel cars, which need a lot of revs to go, this one starts responding very well from about 1300, 1400 RPM. It feels like a petrol. It's smooth, it's efficient, and being a diesel means that fuel efficiency also will be slightly better than its petrol sibling. So this is the one you should go for. I personally prefer the Freestyle over the Figo because of the way it looks, but it really depends because there's a slight price difference as well. So it depends on what your budget is, but that's a great car for driving up the hills. The steering wheel is very crisp, very dynamic, and it's a beautiful car to drive if you go up the hills. The next car on the list is again another Ford car. It's the Ford EcoSport, and it's a car which I always recommend because it's a fantastic car for keener drivers. You push this car into corners, if you go up the hills, it's got a very direct, very communicative, and a very precise steering wheel. So that's also another car which I recommend. Again, the 1.5 diesel is the one to go for. It's very efficient, very nice to drive, and just feels like a relaxed engine as well. When you push it, even on the highway, it doesn't seem to become boom inside the cabin. So that's a great car. Another car which I think that you should buy if you want not to spend a lot of money, you want to spend relatively decent amount of money and don't want to go over your budget, is the Tata Altroz and even the Tiago. It depends on what kind of budget you want. Now the Altroz, of course, has the benefit of a 5-star safety rating, which the Tiago doesn't. Tiago has 4 stars, which is very good. But the Altroz is the one I'll pick between these two. Now the good point about the Altroz is that it's a very roomy car, spacious car, and the ride comfort is exceptional. The ride comfort of this car is very good. The engine also is very good in terms of the tractability. It's a very tractable motor. It really does pull very well, and it's a good car in terms of the handling also. But the ride is something else, because on the hills sometimes there are those landslides, some patch of roads aren't very well made. But even then, it's a great car if you want to buy a new car to keep in your family and go up the hills on a very regular basis. Now the next car on this list is another Tata car. It's the Tata Nexon, and the reason again is the same. Ride comfort is exceptional. The pricing also is very good. The pricing of the Nexon is a little more affordable than its main rivals, and being a Tata also means that servicing, spare parts are relatively well available. It's not as good as a Maruti Suzuki car, but it's still quite good, and it is at par with other rivals. So yes, nobody can beat Maruti Suzuki when it comes to spare parts and ease of availability, but Tata isn't that far behind, and the Nexon is a solid product. 5-star safety rating again, very good ride comfort, and just fantastic overall in terms of value that it offers. So go ahead and buy this car. Now if you are a petrol only fan, you say, no, I just want to buy a petrol car, I don't care about diesels, I just want a petrol, so recommend some petrol for me. Then the SUV that I'll recommend, or the compact SUV I'll recommend within 10 lakh rupee budget, is the Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. Now the Brezza is a very good product because it offers you very good ride comfort. It's a very composed car in terms of ride comfort. No matter what kind of speeds you're doing, no matter what kind of surface you're driving on, it always keeps its occupants comfortable. The steering wheel also is surprisingly very good, and it's not a flimsy steering wheel. It's not a steering wheel which feels very, lazy. It's a very quick responding steering wheel. The chassis is also very sporty and very dynamic. So whenever you're moving this car or turning it around corners, you'll get exactly this kind of feel what you're doing. The input from the driver and the tires feedback, the wheels feedback will be accurate. And the gearbox also, the manual gearbox is a joy to operate. The automatic 4-speed unit is also quite good. And the 1.5 petrol K-series engine is a very responsive, very smooth engine, nothing like it in this segment. So the Brezza is a car which I recommend for petrol lovers. And again, being a Maruti Suzuki means that availability of spare parts, etc., really is a no-brainer. Now, a lot of you also keep asking me which SUV should we take up the hills. It isn't necessary that you have to buy an SUV. I just recommended these cars. It's not really something which you need to do. You can always buy a hatchback, and even then you'll be quite happy. But the next car on this list, which I always recommend, is a car which is an SUV, because SUVs really are the rage at the moment. And it's becoming old now, so it's better if you can find a good used product, if you can find a good used deal. And of course, if you want to spend about 5 lakh rupees, 6 lakh rupees, but you want a big SUV, then the Renault Duster Diesel is a car we should check out. Even the Nissan Terrano is the same, it's a Duster basically. So if you can get a good example of a Terrano or even the Duster, buy that car. The steering wheel, again, very good. The chassis balance, very good. Ride comfort, very good. And it's not a compact SUV, it's over 4 meters in length. So the space also, especially the boot, is quite big. So you can go camping on this car, you can do a lot of stuff, and it really is a very capable car. Very smooth engine, very refined engine, very fuel efficient engine, and it's a delight. If you can get a good example of a used Duster, then just go ahead and buy it. Another car which I recommend in the used market, if you can get a good example, of course, is the XUV 500. Now, it's not a 4x4. You don't need a 4x4 unless, of course, you have to go off-roading or you really need some ice. But it's the XUV 500. It's a car which I recommend. And of course, it's a car that my good friend Vikas Dayal, who has a very popular channel, is always driving up the hills. He's been to Spiti in that car. If you want to see his videos, you want to see his feedback, you can check out the description box below. It's a great car. Pricing wise, it's a little expensive than its other rivals in the used car market. You can buy it new also, but there's a new one coming out, so I'd not recommend buying the current version. Buy a second XUV 500, you'll be quite happy. It's a capable car, it's a roomy car, spacious car, and you'll enjoy the ride. There are some issues sometimes with the maintenance, and sometimes some of the parts can become a little tricky and they have a mood of their own. But as a product, as an engineering product, it's a great car, and I'll always recommend it for people who want a big SUV up the hills and don't want to spend too much money, because as I said, we're trying to keep this in a 10 lakh rupee budget range so that it becomes more affordable and more people can go up the hills on a regular basis. Now, the next car and the final car that I always recommend is the Toyota Innova. Now, a new one is very expensive. So again, buying a used example is the way to go. The Innova is a fantastic car, great for reliability, great for overall build quality, great for overall space. And yes, the diesel engine does become a little noisy when you go up the hills, but it has so much pulling power that you can drive it all day long in second and third gear, and you just don't have to change gears all day long. So it's a great car for people who enjoy going up the hills. Of course, if you can afford the new Innova, go ahead and buy it. But a second-hand Innova is just as good, even if it's done 1 lakh kilometers. These cars are absolutely bulletproof and they're absolutely brilliant. And there's a reason why this car is such a legend, not only in the taxi market, but everywhere you go across India. Well, anyways, guys, this was my list of the best cars, some top tips, some things that you should keep in mind. What do you think of this video? What other series would you like me to do? What other things you would like me to cover? Do let me know in the comment section below. You can also follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter. My handle is AshishMasi1 on both those places. And of course, you can also follow me on Facebook. The link is in the description box below to all those places. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to share this video with your friends, do so. It's been a long one today, I know, but I just thought I should tell you all the facts and figures, and do let me know what other kind of videos you want me to do. Should I do a little more travel videos? Should I do something else? What other content you'd like to see on this channel? So bye for now, and thanks for watching.